changing tastes, eating habits, consumer choice,
Okay, be sure to pronounce the S's. Eating habits.
eating habits,
Mm-hmm.
consumers choice, organic, fair trade products,
Or
to be
organic.
health
Or,
conscious,
organic. Organic.
okay, organic,
I can't hear
fair
anything.
trade products. Guess my friend has a problem with his connection.
Okay, he'll come back in. I hope. If not,
Okay, so to be health conscious,
conscious.
conscious,
Mm-hmm.
balanced diet,
Okay.
to prepare meals, convenience food, to skip breakfast, lunch, to snack, eat between meals, meal time as a family occasion, to sit down as a family, to eat out, to live on takeaways,
Very good.
to,
Now,
to
are there
live
any,
on.
to live on takeaways? Do you have any questions about any of those phrases?
I didn't understand the last one. To live
Okay.
on.
To live on takeaways. You, the word to live. You understand to live,
Of
and
course.
and then the word takeaway is exactly what it means. Take away. You take something away. For example, at McDonald's. Do you have McDonald's in Algeria?
We don't have it.
No, but we'll have it soon.
Okay. Do you have fast food restaurants in Algeria?
Of course
Yes,
we
of
have.
course.
Which give me the name of one.
Fedi food.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Give me the name of one. Of the
Fedi food restaurant.
One restaurant.
Mm-hmm. One. Give me the name of the fast
He has
food.
given an example.
What is it? What was it? No, give me the name.
Fedi
The name is
restaurant.
the King Food, for example.
Okay, King Food. When you go to King Food and order something, do they give it to you in a bag or a box? Do they put your food in a bag or do they put your food in a box?
So in a
You
box.
believe
Okay, so when they put your food in a box, you walk out of the store. You walk out of the restaurant.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Take away. Okay.
Okay.
And when you eat because you're hungry and you live. Food helps you to live, right? So now think about it this way. In the US, kids love to eat at McDonald's. That's all they eat practically. So they live to eat on takeaways. When they get money, they go get a takeaway. They buy from.
Okay. Okay. I got the meaning.
All right. Tell me, what does it mean to live on takeaways? Tell me, what does it mean to live on takeaways?
Well, it means to live just for food. Well, it means to go eating, to go to the nearest restaurants whenever we have the smallest occasion.
Mm-hmm. Or something like that. When you have the urge to eat, you generally just go to a takeaway. You run out and get a takeaway meal like McDonald's or the one that you said. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
And when you get a takeaway, you don't necessarily sit down as a family to eat it. You eat it in the car, you eat it while walking or sitting on a bench, typically.
Okay. In a quick way.
In a quick way. Typically, because you can
Okay.
order from a restaurant a real meal and take it home for dinner, but that's not the norm.
Sorry.
Okay, the norm. Let's see. The norm for Okay, so the norm for takeaway is fast food, is a fast food place to get food that can be eaten in a hurry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Any others?
What about to eat out? To
Well, I
eat
was
out.
about to ask you.
To eat
Mhm.
out?
Yeah.
Okay, to eat out is
I
pretty
think it.
it's similar
I
to
think it means to make a noise while eating.
eat out. No, no. Eating out is it's still the same. It's similar to takeaway. Eating out means that you're not eating at home. You're eating
Yes.
out at the restaurant. You're going
Yes. Yes.
to
Okay.
a place to pay for your meal. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we'll remember
Mhm.
that. Any others?
Yeah.
Mm, well, never
Convenience.
prepare meal as well. I think the rest of the words is clear for me.
Okay. So now Abdel Hamid, can you read for us cause
Yeah.
and effect expressions? Cause and effect expressions, please.
Okay. Okay. To have a huge effect, impact on, to result in, to lead to be the cause of, thanks to, we've ended up, we've got to the point where.
Okay, excellent. Now, as you look at these expressions are similar to the phrasal verbs that we learned last week. The more
Mhm.
phrasal verbs
Okay.
you learn and the more expressions you learn, the faster you will become fluent in English. So let me
Yeah.
listen to what I'm
Mhm.
going to say now as I use these expressions. If you want to have a
Okay.
huge impact on the English language, you will do well to learn phrasal verbs.
Okay.
When you learn phrasal verbs, this will result in your ability to speak English faster with fluency.
Mhm.
This leads me to tell you this. Constant practice is going to guarantee your success. So practice is going to be the cause of your success.
Okay.
Thanks to your ability to come to this free class, you are going to learn a lot of things in this one session. So we've
Okay.
ended up so far talking about the benefits of expressions and phrasal verbs.
Yeah.
Now, we've
Mhm.
got to get to the point where you're going to actually use these phrases yourself. Notice it doesn't quite say exactly we got to the point where, but I could say we've got to the point where you do understand what the goal is for today's lesson. Although it may not necessarily be true, but this is just one way of
Okay.
say that. Are there any questions
Mhm.
about the cause and effect expressions?
I think it's clear.
No. I was about to ask if the expression to result in is always followed by the result, and you've already answered to my question.
Okay, so what I could say is this. If we continue to eat at a fast food restaurant, this could result in obesity. Or
Obesity,
if you eat a lot of,
heart attacks.
it could result in heart attacks. Say it in a complete sentence and use it could result in
Well,
not always using the word TO because I said it could result in a heart attack.
Yeah.
mhm.
So this would become somewhat of a grammar situation, but understanding the phrase impartiality, and then after you practice, you'll know when to use the word to or when to just say result in. But
Yeah.
it's only through
Mhm.
practice that you come to know when it is correct. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, we're going to take a look at the article itself. And it's an extract. What does the word extract mean? What does that mean to extract? What
Oh,
does that mean?
so where is it first? Is it in the text?
It's right here.
Okay.
What does it
Read
mean?
the following.
No.
Extract. It's I think it means small paragraphs from big articles.
Yes, it is the smaller portion of a larger paragraph or larger article.
Okay.
So what does the word
Mhm.
extract mean? To pull out. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to extract my tooth.
Mhm.
To remove. Okay? What does
Okay.
extract mean? What does extract
Mm,
mean?
It means a small part
Yeah, a
from
small.
a bigger text. A
Very
small
good.
paragraph from a bigger text.
Exactly. All right, let me check my messages to see if there's anyone else waiting to come in. Zoom changed their platform. Right now I have to admit everyone. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a second.
Okay.
And this will be the
Hamid,
last.
are you still there?
I'm
Yeah,
listening. I'm listening.
he's still here.
Okay.
Can you not see him?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
But
Now,
at least I can hear him.
are you on
I
a
can.
cell phone? Haas, are you using a cell phone?
No. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
I'm using a cell phone.
Abdulhamid, are you using a cell phone?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
watching. I'm
okay,
watching both of you.
that's probably why you can't see him, because you're on the cell phone. If you were on the computer, you would be able to see him. And Haas, you raised your hand. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay,
I
that's fine.
touched it accidentally.
Okay, no worries there. No worries. All right, I'm stopping sharing for just a second. 3.
What about our teacher, Mr. Mehdi? He he asked us about this program. He want to know more about it.
He wanted to join.
Yeah,
Okay.
he.
Well, why did
Well,
he?
I've told him that there is a class today, but I guess he's not. He's not. I guess he's busy. I don't
Okay,
know why he didn't come.
and that's fine. That's fine, because I plan to do 3. I plan to do 3 a day until I decide not to do 3 a day. When I ask the individuals to give me the time that is best suited for them, I'm looking at when you sent in your time, Haas. That time had already passed. Like right now, it's probably 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably 7 p.m. where you are, or later, Haas. What time is it?
It's 7:30.
Yeah. When I sent out the email, you had said the best time for you was, I think, at 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was the time that I was actually completing the form at 3. So
Mhm.
that was not going to work. And I think I sent you a message back and I said I would be available in about 4 hours or so. But I'll try to find a
Mhm.
regular time and see how that
For
works.
everyone.
Well, you can come to all of them, but of course, if you're the only one that's always showing up, then I won't necessarily continue to do it. But I don't know. I may. So now I'm looking for my lesson that there is no one waiting. I went out to see if anyone was waiting to get in, and there isn't. And another reason I offer the free classes is because I'm trying to learn how to do a group session. My classes are 1-to-1, but I want to do more
Great.
1-to-many. So you all are my, what is another word for people that I'm practicing with? What are you called? what would you be called?
Uh,
Do you know?
student.
No. No, it would not be students. It would be guinea pigs. You would be my guinea pig.
I don't know the word.
You don't know the word guinea pigs?
Guinea
It's
pigs.
it's
Can
like
you
a
guess the
hamster.
meaning?
It's like a hamster.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like a hamster.
a
Yeah.
hamster.
Yes, but
Oh,
but but Aldemir, your name is Al Hamid. Because you are in the medical field, you shouldn't be very familiar with the word guinea pig, I would think.
yeah, I know it.
Okay, so explain
Yeah.
to us why I say that you are my guinea pigs.
Okay.
What do we do with guinea pigs? What do they do with the guinea pigs in the medical profession?
Well, in
They do experiences on them.
Mhm. Well, they learn. They learn. They learn. So right now, I need to practice for information and sharing information in a larger group with a group. So you are my guinea pigs. You're going to tell me
Okay.
how. So when we get to be 15 students in a class, it's going to go a little bit crazy or cumbersome. But now this 2 and 3 and 5 is enough for me to practice to know how to go in and out of the sessions. All right, so now
Okay.
I'm going to share my screen again. And we should
Okay.
have changing attitudes to food. Changing attitudes to foods. We know that, Abdelhamid, that this article came from a larger article. It was extracted from a larger article. Okay.
Yeah.
We could also say that I'm going to point out several things. So here are some of the words that we're going to try to use. Hopefully you can see these words as I type them. If you can't, then they will just be there for me. Text. I'm going to put in point out. I'm going to type spell out, talk down, rant on, harp on, and bring up. So those are just a few of those phrases. So Abdelhamid,
Yeah.
Abdelhamid, can you read
Yeah.
for me changing attitudes to food?
I can't see it very well.
Okay, let's see if I can make it a little larger. I don't know that I can, but I'll try.
That would be better.
Point out. Spell
No,
out.
no, not those words. Not those words. I want you to read the article, Changing Attitudes to Food.
You should zoom in.
Is it too large now?
Have
That's better.
eaten.
Now, can you see it?
I think I can. Have eaten habit. Now I can't.
Now is it too large or too small?
It's too small.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Can you zoom in?
Okay, maybe it just takes a
A
second.
little bit more. Yeah.
Make
a
it
little
larger.
larger.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's try making it larger again. Can you see it now?
Yes. Now I can see it.
Okay.
Have
Great.
eaten habit changed in your country over the years? Are we better off now with the choice of food we have available, or do production methods mean our food is less healthy? Do families still together, still or grab something to eat in front of the TV? Present your views at our international festival to be held on Students' Union this week.
Okay. Alhamid, did you understand what you read?
Have eating habits changed in your country over the years?
Yeah, what does that mean? Just that part. What does that mean?
Eating habits change in your country over the years. I think we've never changed our habits here in Algeria.
You
Our
probably have.
eating habits.
You probably have. So tell me, how do you eat most of your food? Do you eat most of your food with
I
a
do not agree with them.
I don't
Really?
either. Do
Yeah,
you eat most of your food with a spoon or
yeah.
fork?
Well, if we compare the ancient method of eating, the ancient habits, eating habits, with the actual habits, there is a very big difference. People don't eat anymore at home. They eat a lot of junk food, and
They still eat.
they
No,
they do not eat together.
Mhm. So
Mhm. What have you
a
said,
lot of
Hamid?
a lot of the foods here in the U.S., we use our hands to eat our food. We eat a
really.
sandwich.
Hmm.
We'll go to a fast food restaurant and grab a sandwich. We don't sit down and eat. That's how things have changed. Okay.
Mhm.
Hmm. The
So,
same thing is happening here.
so would you
Yeah.
like to change your answer, Abdulhamid? And I'll keep saying your name until I can get it naturally to flow from my looking
You
at.
can call me. You can call me Dito.
Well, probably should call you what I see because as my student list grows, I'll start calling. I'm only calling what I see. Okay. So,
Hmm.
what is your answer? Try to use try to use some of the vocabulary words now that you've learned, or some of the expressions.
Hmm. Mm. Well, the writer of the text was trying to point out the difference between the ancient eating habits and the actual eating habit.
Right. That sounds like Haas speaking.
Yeah.
Stop speaking
Okay,
for a
I've used one.
second. Okay, tell me how
Forgive the interruption.
Aldel Hamid, I changed your name so I could look at it phonetically and say it on the screen. Okay.
Okay, I change it.
Okay. So read the next sentence for me, Haas. Are we better off?
Are we better off now with the choice of food we have available, or do production methods mean our food is less healthy?
Okay. What do you
Mm.
think the answer would be? And there is no right or wrong answer. There is no right or wrong
Uh-huh.
answer. It's what you believe.
Well, I believe that the production methods, food production methods that we have now, might be good as they might be uh,
Not
not safe
healthy.
for our health.
Okay, did I hear you say it might be? I want you to choose. I'd like for you to choose either it is less healthy or it isn't less healthy.
It's less
Or,
healthy then.
okay. Why do
Mhm.
you think it is? I don't want to bring up any negative thoughts going up. So why do you think it is
Okay.
less healthy?
Well, I believe that the food that we consume now contains a lot of additives, a lot of colors, artificial colors, which reduce the nutritional value of the food itself.
Mhm. All right.
That's why I believe it's less healthy.
Okay. Al Hamid, could you read the next sentence.
Do families sit together still or grab something to eat in front of the TV?
Okay. And here in your response, you could probably try to use this phrase or this phrase. So what is your response, Abdulhamid?
I think families still eat together. It depends on the families. Some families still eat together, and the others are separate.
What about
They,
your family?
they,
Okay, talk
my,
about your family.
my parents. I live with my parents. My parents eat alone, and I eat alone. They are having dinner right now. They are having dinner right now.
Okay. And when will you have dinner? Where will you have your dinner?
As soon as I finish this course.
So where will you have it? Will you sit down at the kitchen table and eat, or will you eat and watch TV?
His bedroom, I
Um,
think.
I eat in the kitchen.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not
Okay.
I'm not the guy who eats in front of TV or computer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So now, and as I said, there is no right or wrong answer. Haas, can you read the next?
Mm-hmm. Present your views at our international festival to be held on the student union this week.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
Present.
No, I guess it's an invitation for students to be present in what's that? An international festival. Is it right?
That is correct. So after reading this article, have eating habits changed in your country over the years? Are we better off now with the choice of food we have available? Or do production methods mean our food is less healthy? Do families sit together,
Mm.
steal, or grab something to eat in front of the TV? Present your views at our international festival to be held on the student union this week. When we talk about student union, my mind says this is something that takes place on a campus or university where students get together in groups and they talk about
Mhm.
something. Typically, in a university, or at least the universities in the US, we have international students, meaning that students are not all from the US that attend this university, which makes it the universal university. So they're having an international festival. And
Okay.
when people come from a different area than where you are, you may have food, for example, Abdulhamid and Hasbian, that I'm not familiar with. And I would be like,
Mhm.
how should I eat this? Or it doesn't
Okay.
look attractive, or it looks too pretty to eat. That would be something that someone would actually have to tell me about. There was a time in the US, we like to eat fried chicken, okay? And we typically eat fried chicken with our hands. It's greasy, but it's so good to just pick up the chicken after it has been fried
Mhm.
and eat it and take a napkin and clean our hands. In other countries, they would take a knife and fork, cut the meat off of the bone, use the fork, put it into their mouths.
That's true.
So if they saw me eat my chicken with my hand, they may think that this is strange. So now
Mhm.
this article talks about students gathering together at an international forum on campus to talk about the changing habits or attitudes about people eating food. So I would say to you as Algerians, doesn't mean that it's true. I'm just giving you an example. So Hamid and Haas, I want you to know when you come to the States, we love fried chicken and mashed potatoes. We typically use a spoon to eat our potatoes with, but we'll use
Oh, really?
we'll use our hand to eat our
Chicken.
chicken. So I don't want you, now I'm talking and I want you to be able to do the same for about 1 minute. I'm going to talk for about 1 minute about the change in attitudes regarding food. Now, I just told you about
Okay.
potatoes, and they are very delicious foods. Oftentimes, when I was in college, I rarely even ate with my friends in a certain place. I might eat while I'm on my way to class with my chicken in a box and my chicken in my hand. And if I didn't have time to get out the spoon, the potatoes usually comes in a little cup. I might just pour the potatoes into my mouth. So as to say that these are some of the changing attitudes that people have toward food when you're in places that are not places that you're familiar with or comfortable in that surrounding. So I want you to know
Okay.
that no matter how you eat your food here in this university, you will be respected. You will not be made fun of. I don't want to harp on the fact that there are many different ways to eat the same thing, but I do want you to know that we value you as a student. So I won't rant on, and I don't want to talk down to you. I just want to spell out that it's important that we understand that people do things differently. Okay? So this is just
Okay.
me just talking, using some of the phrases that I use. I don't think I looked over here to use any. Now, these are not difficult words for me to use, but it would be difficult words for someone who don't practice using words. I do read a lot, so based upon what your conversation would be, I would automatically say something and these words would come up or relevant words would come to my mind. But until you start using the
Mhm.
words, they will never come to your mind. All right?
That's true.
All right. So
Yeah.
now, which one of you would like to talk first for 1 minute about the changing attitudes to food? Your goal would be to try to use some of the words over here and a few of the phrasal verbs over here. Okay?
Does it have to be 1 minute? Could
Or
we
you want
make
to
it
talk
less?
you want to talk for longer? No, you can just take your
I
you can
give
Well,
some,
I'm gonna
it's just
start.
practice. It's just practice. Okay? You
give
may start.
some script for
And
two seconds.
you may find that you'll talk even longer than 1 minute. Okay? You may begin. Begin.
Well, if a foreign person, if you, Mrs. Priscilla, decide to visit Algeria, the first thing you should know is that the first thing that the person who invites you will bring up is a huge plate of couscous. I've already told you about it. Couscous is the most famous dish in Algeria. It's generally served in very big plates called gasa in Arabic.
Mhm.
Uh, mm, Couscous with meat, chicken, and a lot of vegetables. Um, right after people start eating, they talk
And,
down.
and that's 1 minute. So you can see it doesn't take long for you to get something going. Continue. Continue.
Great.
Are you finished?
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. How many verbs did I use?
Oh,
Two
well,
verbs?
I just got one. I got the
Okay.
talk now. Okay, Aldehamid. Aldehamid.
Yeah.
Uh,
Are you ready?
Okay.
As soon as you start talking, I'll start the timer.
let's get started.
Okay, as soon as you speak.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Well, I want to talk about me, about my changing attitudes to food. Well, I was in the past like to eat at home, just at home. I don't like to. I wasn't like to eat out. Um, and now I change my mind. I like to eat out and eat at home with my family. Um, uh, I like both. I like eating out. I like junk food, and I like my mom's cooking as well. As Hussein said, I like couscous. It's my favorite dish, and that's it.
Okay, so you talked for 50 seconds, and that's still not bad. That's good too. Now let's take a look at what it says we're going to try and do. There.
I couldn't use the verbs.
That's okay, because you're practicing. Eventually, this is your first time meeting me, first time going through any activity with me, that,
Yeah,
you will get it. You will get it.
I hope
We'll be
so.
doing something else the next time. It may be something totally different. So here it says, plan a 1 to 2 minute presentation, making notes. We know that both of you can talk almost for 1 minute. Haas can talk for 1 minute. You talked almost for 1 minute, Abdel Hamid. So this one says, start a preparation. And we've done preparation because we've talked about the cause and effect words, the vocabulary words, and we looked at some phrasal verbs. So think about these issues. You don't have to talk about all 3 of them, or you can speak about all 3 of them. You can speak about all 3 of them.
Well, I
Yes?
would like to speak about the second one.
Okay.
It seems more interesting to me, more
Okay.
interesting than the others.
Okay, well, wait. Okay, so let's start. As soon as you start speaking, the time will start. Okay?
Okay.
You may begin. I'll start when you start to speak.
Well, the first thing that crossed my mind right after I read the expression, the second one, is the way people choose their food in. They do not choose the food according to the nutritional value, but according to how tasty it is. So they generally eat things that are not good for their health without paying attention to the danger that the food cause to their health. So that's it. So
Okay.
as an advice, we should pay attention to what we eat, to the nutritional value necessarily.
Okay, so that would be 40 seconds, which was not bad. Okay. Alda Hamid, when you're ready, I'll start the timer. Are you ready? Abdul Hamid, are you still there?
I think he's not hearing us.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk about the third one, if you allow me.
No, we're going to go to something else.
Okay.
So now we're looking at number 3, the task focus. You're going to try to use a short anecdote which relates to your own experiences of eating habits in your country. The anecdote might serve as an attention-grabbing introduction or an example of a point you want to make during the presentation. So if you had to do a presentation on your job, an anecdote is something that it's like an example, or it could be an idiom. The early bird gets the worm, or your favorite dish is couscous. So maybe because most people like couscous in your country when it's available, if you don't get to the dinner table in time,
So
couscous
it
with,
can be a proverb.
it could be a proverb. So I want you to
It
use,
can be
Mhm.
it can be a funny story that happened to me.
It could be a funny story that happened to you. And I want you to talk for 1 to
Okay.
2 minutes, whatever you're ready.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Well, something I've just remembered is uh, an embarrassing situation. It's embarrassing, in fact, that happened to me 2 years ago. I was invited in a dinner party, and I was supposed to come like 15 minutes before the dinner is served, and there was a problem with my watch, so I came earlier. I came a half an hour before the dinner is served, and I thought it's time to dinner. It's time to dinner to be served, and I was like waiting for dinner, and dinner wasn't served yet. So people was like looking to me in a weird way. I didn't know what to do. It was very embarrassing. I still remember it till now.
Okay. So that was 50 seconds. And
Okay.
let's go, hold on. Okay. Okay, Altamid, you're back. And here we're going to have a conversation. Al Hamid, here are words over to the left. I want you to tell me which 3 words would you like to use in a conversation that you and I will have. What 3 words do you wish to use in a
From
conversation?
this table. From this table.
Yes, the first one would be processed food, food additives, changing taste. Which one, any of these words? Tell me which 3. You can use more than 3, but I want to know which of these 3 words will you be able to use in a conversation that you and I will have.
To prepare meals.
Okay.
To sit down as a family.
Okay.
And eating habits.
Okay, good. Okay, Hasbin, choose 3 words that you will
Okay.
use as I have a conversation with you. They can
Okay. Well.
be different.
Mm, mm, I'm gonna choose to. Where is it? To.
I can't move.
Processed food.
I can't move my screen. So processed foods. Okay.
To snack and to skip breakfast.
I'm looking
And
for.
the one right after.
Oh, okay. Just that.
Okay.
Okay. So there is not necessarily a time, but I'll be listening for your phrases. And it doesn't necessarily mean that every time you speak that you'll be speaking your words, but as soon as you realize you can get your words in, Abdelhamid and Hasban, then you should try and use
Mm-hmm.
when you see the opportunity to use the words. Just 1 second. Okay, so Abdelhamid, I think you told me that one of the things that you enjoy eating is couscous. Is that right?
Yeah,
And
of
you use
course.
some of the other words too, but you must specifically use yours. I understand that you like to eat couscous. Is that correct, Abdelhamid?
Yeah, it's my favorite dish. I know how to prepare it, but I can't. It's hard to do. It's hard to prepare. It's like my mom.
Is it time consuming or is it a quick meal?
It's a time consuming.
So when you
Uh,
say that it's time consuming, how much time does it take to prepare that meal, Al the Hamid?
um, it's maybe 4 hours.
Oh my
Pres-
goodness, that is a long time. So,
Proceed.
so Haas, do you like to spend that much time in the kitchen, or do you prefer
Of course, yes.
He, he
Something
enjoys. He
something that I
enjoys.
didn't tell you about is
Okay,
that I'm a very, very good cook.
okay. And what do you enjoy cooking besides couscous?
Well, I enjoy cooking all the traditional dishes that we have in Algeria.
Hmm. And what is one dish that you have that is a traditional dish in Algeria?
Mm, the shakshuka, for example.
Hmm.
It will take you a year to pronounce it, Mrs. Priscilla.
Okay.
Shakshuka.
Yes, I'm already trying to hear it, but I'm not even getting the sounds. Is it a delicious?
Uh-huh.
Is it
Okay.
meat? Is it a meat dish or a dessert?
It's a main dish.
It's a main dish, yeah.
It's a main dish. But my question was, is it meat or a dessert? But I guess it's
You
meat.
mean does it contain meat? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's made of meat.
yeah. And when I said, is it a main dish? I said, is it meat or a dessert? Then it could not
It's a
be.
mixture between a pasta, a homemade pasta, and meat.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So how many meals do you eat a day, Al Hamid? How many meals do you eat per day?
For, for me, I
Try to
have
speak.
bread.
Try
I
to
eat.
speak in a complete sentence as well. Okay.
I'm gonna try to use these words. Well, I eat 4 times a day. I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sometimes when I practice sports, I eat between lunch and dinner.
So
Um,
when you're practicing, what are you practicing?
when I practice sports, I do karate, and sometimes,
Oh, mhm.
well,
I see. All right.
yeah.
Don't go too long before you've actually used some of your words now. All right. So when you're eating your meals, do you typically have wine, water, or beer with your meals, Abdelhamid, or coffee
I,
or tea?
I didn't hear your question.
What do you typically drink when you have your meals? Do you have water, tea, coffee, wine, beer, milk?
Well, I drink water and juice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget to try to use some of the words, Al Hamid.
Yeah,
What
I
about
forgot.
you? What about you, Hassan? What do you like to drink with your meals? Water, tea, coffee, juice, beer, wine?
Well, I usually drink 2 cups of water before I start eating. It helps me to stop my appetite, and it helps me eating less.
Okay. So, what are some things that could change the taste of food that a person might eat, Abdelhamid? When you're eating with your family, what are some things that could change the taste of your food?
I think eating alone may
Okay.
change the. Yeah, it's not like the same thing when you eat with your family.
Okay. So it's not the
Even
same. It's not
even
the
if
same as when you sit down as a family, maybe.
yeah, even if the food is really tasty, you can't enjoy it.
Why is that you can't enjoy? Al Hamid, I'm pointing out that I want you to use the phrases that you said that you were going to use. You've only used one. So you could
Yeah,
say to sit down as a family.
yeah. Well, to sit down as a family, it's never the same as eating alone. Um,
Okay.
I,
Do you
I, I, I enjoy eating while I'm talking with my family. so it's never the same like eating alone.
Is that a good habit to eat alone?
No, I don't think so.
Eating habit is not a good habit.
I I heard that.
Okay, so why is that, Hosbin? Why do you think that eating alone is not a good eating habit?
Well, I'm trying to find a suitable expression so as I can use it.
Okay, but don't take don't take too much time looking, because the goal is to speak, and the words should be able to find
Okay.
themselves.
Well, something I enjoy during the mealtime as a family is when we all sit down around the same table. We avoid eating processed food. We eat meals that are homemade.
Mhm. What about the meals
And
that
I
you?
think it's a balanced diet. It's a
Okay,
balanced diet.
okay. So, what makes a balanced diet? The what 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 types of meals would include a balanced diet?
Mm,
Do you think it's a good idea to skip
uh,
anything?
no. For someone that tries to make his food habits balanced, he has to he don't have to skip breakfast first. It's mandatory for me. He doesn't have to snack between meals.
Okay. All right. Well, we did struggle through that, but we did get it done. So thank you both for
Hmm.
that. Again, the purpose of the activity is to force you to speak in English, and the fluency will come with more practice and practice. Okay, your greatest takeaway from today's session, Haas? What is your takeaway from today? Before we end the lesson,
You mean what did I learn?
what did you learn? That is your takeaway. Mhm.
Okay. Well, if you talk about the text, I pointed out that our eating habits have changed as time passes.
Mhm.
We don't eat. We don't have the same habits as we used to. So I've learned like 4 or 5 new expressions that I'm going to try to use them in my daily life.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, and that's what it's going to require, is that every time you have a session, every time you listen to a television show, every time you listen to a podcast or things that you've read, try to take away something that you can use on a regular basis. And even when you come to classes, try to bring something that you've learned into the class. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
What would you tell me is your
Well,
greatest
thank you.
takeaway? What is your greatest takeaway for today?
What did you say? I didn't hear you. I think my connection is really bad.
Okay. Did you enjoy today's session?
It's awesome.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. What did you like most about today's lesson?
What it allows me to speak, and I think I should practice a lot because practicing is the key, I think.
Mhm. I
Um,
agree. Practice is going to be key in your becoming fluent. Now that I know that you and Haas are friends, the two of you should practice not speaking Algerian or the name of your language together. You
Of
should
course.
actually you should
We
actually
always speak in English in
oh good,
Messenger.
good. So continue to speak in Messenger, continue to speak in English, and two things will take place. The fluency will come. Your grammar may not necessarily be correct, but you will be able to speak with fluency. Fluency is what I'm doing now. I'm just speaking without really stopping to think about it. My grammar structure may be
Hmm.
incorrect, but the fluency is there. And then when you get the fluency, you can work on the sentence structure For example, we had the phrasal
Okay.
verbs that we looked at today. We had the expressions and we had vocabulary. It isn't so very important initially to get the structure correct, but having an idea of how to use the phrasal verbs, then the more you hear them and see them, you will start to use them correctly. So thank you so much for joining me today.
You know, the problem that we face, the problem that faces us when you start talking in English is that we face two problems in the same time. We
You
think in English, we try to think in English and forget about Arabic, and
Mhm.
then we try to use the expressions that you give to us. That's the
Mhm.
second problem.
Okay.
That's why we struggle.
And so the struggle will be there, but this is how you remedy pretty much the struggle. So as a
Mhm.
pharmacist, Abdelhamid,
Yeah,
oh,
we think a lot.
I'm
We
going to come
think
to
a
you.
lot.
I'm going to come to you with my antidote. Oh, I have a terrible headache and my knees hurt as well as my tooth. I know that if I take ibuprofen, Tylenol, and some other drugs, all of those drugs will start to work against each other and I won't get cured. I'm causing more problems. So you'll say, well, Dr. Priscilla, let's just work on your headache for now. Let's take one pill instead of the Tylenol, the ibuprofen, and the other prescriptives. Oh, my head feels so much better today because now I'm only taking the ibuprofen. Now that I know what I need for my head, let's work on my tooth. So instead of trying to work on everything, you become proficient enough in one thing. So, Haas, I'm going to hold you accountable to do this. I want you to be able to use 3 phrasal verbs. For the next 3 classes that you come to me, I don't want to have to ask you about phrasal verbs. I want you to be able to rattle them off. Like, I want to point out to you, Dr. Priscilla, that. And another thing that I can spell out to you is this, okay? I don't want to harp on the fact that,
Okay.
and when they become natural to you, you've got it. Then you can focus on something else. But when you're trying to focus on the vocabulary, the phrasal verbs, when students are coming to me and they say they want to prepare for the IELTS or an English proficiency exam, and they're going to take that exam next week, there isn't much that I can really do to help them because it's too much unless they have been practicing on their own. All right. So Abdelhamid, when you come to my next class, I want you to be able to use the phrase, no matter what it is that I'm talking about, I want you to be able, I'm not going to remember it until I ask you, what did I ask you? I want you to be able to use something about to eat out.
Okay.
All right. So Hosbin, you've got 3 things because you've been to several classes. Abdelhamid, 1 thing I want you to be able to
Eat out.
phrase to eat
That-
out. Okay,
Yeah.
so as we end our class today, where will you be eating tonight, Abdelhamid?
What?
Where will you be eating?
Let me
Be sure to
see.
use to eat out. I will not eat out tonight. I will eat at home. I gotta go. Thanks, guys. It was my pleasure to work with you today. See you next time.
It was a pleasure for us too.
Okay, be sure to invite your friends. There's room always at this table.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Be sure to leave feedback on the Facebook group. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.